I think first, I'm a true basketball player, who I always wanted to, pursue basketball and change the dynamics of basketball. That was the main goal as, since a younger kid. So as soon as when I saw at the younger stage that, I've played at one place, then I saw the system was different. Then, I had to change that, I wanted to go to a system where, I thought, it would be more better. So I get more better opportunities. Then I moved places around and everything. Then I realized that, for a real basketball player, the system has to be, placed in a way that any kid who's aspiring to become an Indian player or a professional athlete or anything, the association has to give a stand to it. So I thought, I started a basketball academy. Then with an academy, I could only pull or, change the dynamics of basketball to 20-30% extent. But later I realized that, association is where the whole, the dynamics of basketball would be changed, or, you could do such big activities like this. So I think that was the main motto and agenda that, to change the whole basketball circuit or develop the basketball arena or, any system which you say. And this is the main platform, if you are in the association, and then only you can change a lot more things than, being as a player or as a coach.
Okay, but for people who may not be familiar with your journey, it's actually like a Tollywood movie. That's what I say. Okay, so for people who don't know about you, let me just recap. You first played for Telangana State at the younger age groups, right? Then you went to the India U18, if I'm not mistaken. You also went to Europe Basketball Academy. You played in Europe for I think a year or 2 years.
Yes.
Then you went to the US.
Yes.
Okay, and there I think you played high school. You had a gap year.
Prep school, yeah.
Prep school, and then you had like Allen Iverson type cornrows.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you come back to India. Then you play in UBA. Then you play in
ACG NBA Jump.
ACG NBA Jump, where you finished second
at the finale list, where I was also a part of the ACG NBA D League, who Palpreet has went. I was also the second guy who they chose me, and then I was also part of that 6 months D League camp.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Not many people know about that.
Yeah.
Then you also played on the Indian senior team in the qualifiers, right?
Yes.
World Cup
qualifiers, William Jones Cup. FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a crazy journey, right? So what are and each of this is like every step of the journey, there's no other Indian who has gone before. And what are the lessons that you learned from there that you're trying to bring into the Telangana Basketball Association?
It all started with, my brother playing cricket, and then, my brother was in cricket, my mom was a sports teacher in the same school. She took both of us from the cricket coaching. After 1 year, and my mother made my brother join in the cricket basketball line because he was short. So then I threw the bag over there and I started, this is the best opportunity that I can go join some sport and, miss education. The journey started from where, I thought, the coach was like, ma'am, it's a 45 minutes class. The 45 minutes became my life today. Coming back to the main thing, the journey where I see is, first I wanted to get the needed school jersey. Then after that, I was like, then I want to become like the captain of the team. Then it went from, ICSC Nationals. Then from Nationals it went to ICSC Main 5. Then it went to the BFI, under 14 Nationals. Then I was like, okay, I always thought that, what is next? And, I always thought that India is my ultimate goal. When I was searching for India in my life, I could find so many answers and so many missed pieces in the whole basketball circuit or a sporting culture of life, because when I was at one place, nobody has ever told me that this is impossible to go to Indian camp. It is impossible to go and play India. So then I'm like, this is not possible. Every man has a dream. Everybody can do it. That was the main motto. Still today I feel that nothing is impossible. You need to start doing it. It's like how Gopichand, I was talking to him probably like an hour back. He was telling me somebody has to start it. And I always had that zeal in me that I need to start it. I want to bring a change into the system. I want to be the first player who represent India in Telangana or Andhra Pradesh at that time. I wanted to be the first one to, put a academy, just a player. I've played throughout my life. I wanted to put an academy. I wanted to showcase that, basketball is on the higher end. I could showcase that, there is life in basketball by coaching also. So I believe that, there is life in basketball. That's why I believe that, all these things, I wanted to change the whole system by saying that there is life in basketball. That's the end of the cream, I would say.
Okay. No, but not many in their 20s will think at a systemic level. many will think of how can I become the best player I can be. But you, at a very young age or much younger than others, you are able to join the dots and think systemically. Can you tell us how did you develop this sort of thinking, and how can others also think beyond themselves, think in the larger system?
I think failure has taught me a lot in the way when I was finding answers to play for the Indian team. When I went to the Indian team, I was, probably the last in the camps, because I come from, Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, where we never used to place on the higher ranks. Then I understood that, I need to be in the higher ranks. But let's say I couldn't get the higher rank. Then I was at least, caliber enough to be in the Indian camps. Then from Indian camps, I understood that, there is a lot of system which is lacking in sense of selection, at least. When, let's say, a state like us, a player like me, somebody has to come to the lower pool matches to select me. And, I was lucky enough that, at that time, BFI has got IMG Reliance and everything. So then the selection committee has come to watch the lower games. Then I understood that, a system at a very young age, if they can change small systematic things, let's say like an organization today, if we could do something like a pro league. Why is a pro league? I'll just give you a prime example of a pro league. Me coming from Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, I never was selected to an Indian camp via nationals. I was playing in UBA, and player and the selection committee or whoever, everybody got to know that I played in UBA. I am Prudhvi, so and so good point guard who can do it. That platform has given me to play for the Indian camp, then into the Indian team. That was the main thing which has changed me. So I think, systematically when we look at the larger aspect, single thing or single person cannot do. A system will change the whole platform.
What are you hoping? What is your vision behind this league, and how is it going to help Telangana basketball?
So first thing, I would like to structurize the league. So just like other leagues, we have put up a selection trials. Just like that, we have put it on social media, we have transferred everything, and there's about 450 players who have come from one state for one pro league selection. That was the first, step towards the selection trials. We have done a one full day trials for everybody. We have selected players. If there are 12 players, 6 players would be seniors, 2 players would be under 18, 2 players would be district, and 2 players would be promising players, so that in a player of 12, only 5 would be playing or 7 would be playing. But I thought that, why would I give it to other senior players or any other, because I don't see there's a growth. But if I see it U18 or a district player or a promising player, I can form a system over here that, the kids are getting inspired by the senior athletes. And so every team is structured like this. There's 6 teams right now. I thought, pre-season is something like a launch for any product or anything like that. And, I urge that, every state needs to have a pro league, then the main pro leagues will improve. If there is just like, how we do districts and nationals, then some India. So I think every aspect should have one pro league, then that pro leagues will go up on top. The main pro league will take about 6 players from at least this TPBL. So then I think the systems will form around, and a larger community will form around. More owners from this level, more coaches who have been not looked at, they have more chances. The room of space for everybody is larger in this aspect, I would say. So that's why TPL comes in a place where, I want to showcase the whole India that, why are we doing a pre-season on a heaviest, platform? We want players to understand that we are serious enough. We want players to understand this is the level of basketball. We want fans to understand that, it's not only Europe or NBA. It's in Hyderabad or it's in Telangana or in India. We are able to pull off something like this, and it's not a hard task. If 100 hands join enough, I think, all our basketball players, I think today, I've told each and every coach that, we are a community. We need to join hands. We need each and every player or every coach player's family to be present here. That means that's the strength of our community. And if we can do that and fill our stands, I think 100% there would be outsiders or any owners who would love to see this and come to us and then try to, be part of it. I think this is the culture which we have to adapt into the pro leagues.
So how do you plan to bring in these sort of corporate sponsors or even celebrities to get involved into the league? Is that something you're thinking about?
To be very honest, the first step which I'm looking at is filling up the stands with our fans. Genuinely our fans, not school kids or anybody. Just genuinely who's playing basketball every day. If I can fill those stands, I think, anybody, let it be a owner, let it be a cinema star, let it be anyone. Sport is something where everybody is interested in. if we can create this atmosphere over here, which is, you know, this type of atmosphere, and then we can bring in more crowd and the games going neck to neck, I think any actor or anybody, I think, you know, obviously we would like actors to come in so that we can showcase that, you know, the platform is bigger, there is more viewership. But I think, you know, I want to bring it to a stage where, you know, 80% I bring the crowd and viewership, and him getting the other ones. I think that could boom the system up.
Yeah.
So that is the main system. I'm still waiting for that, you know, the booming time, and then bringing him and then showcasing that, you know, Telangana Basketball Association and, you know, TPBL doing it. I want to showcase, you know, this is the bigger picture which I'm talking about, season 1, season 2, season 3.
Okay.
By end of this season, I want at least 6 owners. To be very frank, I need 6 owners who love basketball, who are interested in basketball, who would actually talk to a player or their franchise player saying, how are you doing? Do you need anything? How's the practice going on? I think this is the culture we need to adapt more than looking at the cream, I would say. If the owners are more, you know, interested in the players and interested in the team, that's how the growth will happen. Rather than bringing anybody else, I think this is the growth I'm looking at, to be honest.
Okay, and right now, TPBL is a 1-month league. And we have seen in India, there are many leagues that are 2-3 days long and they call themselves a league. So can you tell us the importance of longer duration leagues, and is that also like a plan where TPBL, where you have like a full calendar throughout the year, there are different type of events happening?
Telangana Pro League will go about probably for a period of 6 months, I think. For a period of 6 months, in sense of like, you know, season 1 would probably go for some 1 month of time, then there'll be camps, then there'll be all these things. So main projection is about a player being fit enough. A player is understanding there is a professional life for me. There is a professional career where I need to be fit enough, where I need to start, you know, lifting weights or like, you know, shoot arounds or, you know, putting extra amount of. So when there is a season like this, then we switch into the nationals, then we switch into something like college leagues, sport club leagues or anything. So, you know, the players are always fit enough. They're ready to play any league they can, and that's what more player pool will come. Once there's more player pool, I think it's easier for us to put on a great show in the system.
Okay. And I believe one of the motivations for TPBL is also to make the Telangana team the top team at the nationals.
Yes.
Right? But now if you look at the nationals, you have Punjab, right? You have played against them, you know the size and the raw talent that Punjab has. On the other hand, further down south, you have Tamil Nadu, which has some crazy grassroots culture. So what can a state like Telangana, do you think TPBL is enough? Like, how do you beat Punjab and Tamil Nadu in the nationals?
See, I think we are lucky enough to have, since last 5-6 years, I think, you know, at my age, I think there was not much of a talent which came out. Right now, I think there's so many academies which they came in. The kids have been, you know, exposed to lot more videos, lot more things and lot more basketball in their life. I think we still, like, you know, before it was more like Alpreet or Amjot, 267. I think right now you can see here there's about 6'8", 6'9" kids over here. It's only about giving them more exposure, more games like this. The biggest thing with Punjab or Tamil Nadu, any other, they have so many leagues, so many tournaments, so many all India tournaments is running around. That is the main goal. Pro League will go for 6 months long, where there is season, then there's off season, then there's season, there's coaching camp and everything. Then there is college league or school league, where we are building the grassroots levels. Then there's club leagues, Division A, Division B, Division C. Then again there will be all India tournaments. So I want to bring in more tournaments. I think that's the biggest thing. Experience matters in basketball, or experience matters in anyhow. The biggest thing we lacked is more of tournaments or more of that highest level of experience. All India gives you a different experience. All India is nothing more less than a national champion. All the best players. So if they are playing about 30 All Indias in Tamil Nadu, or let's say in North 2030, then they are already prepared for a national championship. Whereas Telangana or Andhra or anything you say, we are very back. We are only playing our club leagues. We need to start understanding that we need to pull in more of competitive basketball so people understand the real sports life.
Okay, and coming to a question that many people have on their minds, will TPBL, is called a pro league, that means they're professionals. So will they be getting paid? How much will they be getting paid? Is that something you are comfortable talking about?
Just like everybody, you know, I was also a player, so I could understand, you know, a payment would make a lot of difference, or, you know, a payroll check would make a difference. But I think, you know, I would first, my whole goal is to give them a platform to play. If I can fill the shoes for them, I think automatically once they can also, you know, bring back the, you know, the game and, you know, try to make sure that the game or the pro leagues level has been put on high. I think automatically, I mean, I urge to give everybody. If I wish I could give them 1 CR every day, but play, and if they get funded or financially for their own athletic ways, or lifting weights, taking protein, good diet and good food, I think the standard will raise. So I mean, obviously I would love to see it, but only if the league grows and everything grows, then things will fall into place. Sponsorship would come, like any protein brands or anything like that, the sponsorship would fall in place. So this is where I am looking at for the next seasons.
Okay, great. And last question is, Telangana, we need to think of basketball as a brand. We don't do it. Like, I remember 10 years back, I was having the discussion within BFI about how we should have different, like Telangana basketball should be a brand, Karnataka basketball should be a brand, like how in USA basketball is a brand.
Yeah.
So in terms of brand value, is that also something thinking about? What's your message to people on how they should look at Telangana basketball? Where do you see Telangana basketball as a brand, say 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 40 years from now?
The biggest thing I would say with Telangana Basketball Association, when I played as a young kid, I mean, in my era, I couldn't get a national championship. That's the only, probably I never could achieve that. And, just like how Tamil Nadu and, all these, teams have the legacy of, holding 2 national senior championship, junior, mini, everything, they have won all these medals. So I think, going forward, I want to win all the nationalships possible. And, this league, especially TPBL, I want this to be a brand. I want people to see, whole, country to see that, probably a player today is dreaming about a player again over here. And that is the main goal I would see, that, players should win end of the day. And TPBL means, or, Telangana Basketball Association means a player today. And I want everybody to see this as, a player entitled association, where a player is winning basketball or anything in his life. And that is where I look at it. It's a chance. It's a pride for me.